Hi everybody, today I'm going to talk about the Abstract Factory, which is our first class about creational design pattern. So let's get started. So here is the context. We would like to build a contact manager which will record all our contacts, and we would like it to be a little bit friendly, so it will support multiple look and feels. Let's say we will have a dark one and a bright one to be simple. And of course, this look and feels define different appearances and behavior for all the widgets inside the application, like scroll bar, windows, and buttons, and so on. So the problem here is how to get the design to switch from one look and feel to another really easily. So the solution to get this design is to provide an interface which will be in charge for creating families of related or dependent objects without specifying their concrete classes. And it is the main goal of the Abstract Factory. So now let's have a look about the structure to better understand how it works. And we will go from top to bottom for a better understanding. So first we have the client. Here the client is our application, and this application would like to build some windows and buttons. So to do that, this application will ask the widget factory to build these windows and buttons through the methods create window and create button. And here you can see that the client, the application, is only deals with abstract objects. The windows and buttons are abstract and widget factory is abstract. So what about the concrete part? Of course, there is some dark window and dark button for the dark look and feel. And to create this dark object, we will subclass the widget factory with a dark factory. And this dark factory will override the create window and create button methods to create the concrete object. And it is the same for the bright look and feel. We will have some bright window and bright button classes. And to create this object, we will subclass again the widget factory with a bright factory to create this bright button and bright window. So now you can have a look about the whole structure of the Abstract Factory without any context, and you can see again that the client is dealing with Abstract Product A, Abstract Product B, and Abstract Factory, so only abstract object. So what about the participant? So first we have the Abstract Factory, which is the widget factory in our context, and it declares an interface for operations that create abstract product objects. Next, we have the abstract product, of course, for the button, window, scroll bar, and so on, and it declares an interface for a type of product object. Next, we have the concrete factory, so the dark factory and the bright factory, and they implement the operation to create concrete product object, of course. Next, we have the concrete product, so the dark button, dark window, dark scroll bar, and we have the same for the bright look and feel. And it defines a product object to be created by the corresponding concrete factory and implements the abstract product interface. And at the end, we have the client, which uses only interfaces declared by Abstract Factory and Abstract Product classes. There is different situations in which you may apply this design. The first one is when a system should be configured with one of multiple families of products. In our contact managers, different families are the dark and bright look and feel. The second situation is when a family of related product objects is designed to use together and you need to enforce this constraint. In our contact manager, when you are building some buttons, scroll bar, and so on, you would like them to have the same look and feel. The third situation is when you want to provide a class library of product and you want to reveal just their interfaces, not their implementation. As I already told you before, the application is only dealing with abstract widgets. The last situation is when a system should be independent of how its products are created, composed, and represented. That's why we have a dedicated object to build the widgets, which is the factory, and the application doesn't care how the widgets are composed and represented. There are several benefits applying this design. The client is well isolated from concrete classes implementation and creation. It's really easy to exchange from one family to another. and the consistency among products is natural. However, there are some drawbacks. A new product implies to update all factories, because first you have to add a method to the abstract factory, and after you have to override it inside each concrete factory. A lot of families could lead to have many parallel hierarchies of factories and products, because each time you will add a new look and feel, you have to subclass the widget factory to have a concrete factory able to build the new window and button and so on. There is some key points I'd like to tell you regarding to the implementation. Concrete factories are often implemented as a singleton. Singleton is another creational design pattern which ensures that you are always asking the same instance, and here it is important to always asking the same factory to be sure to get the same kind of product. The most common way is to provide factory method for each product to be created. Factory method just means there is a dedicated method to create a product, and I'll be back on this point a little bit later with sample code. Subclassing the abstract factory is always needed, even if the new family slightly differs from another one. For example, you are reusing some product to create a new family, and you must subclassing the abstract factory again. It is one of the drawbacks of the design, and a good alternative is to reuse the prototype pattern. Extensible factory with a unique parameterized method may be difficult to use in language such as C++. Maybe you ask yourself why not just create a unique method with a parameter like integer or enumeration or whatever, and to have only a unique method. Just keep in mind doing that the object which will be returned will be always of the same class. So maybe here in our case we have to create a base class like widget. It is especially true for static language such as C++. It's a little bit easier with dynamic such as Smalltalk and so on. Now let's jump into the code to really see how it works. So we are in Eclipse, and I will provide you a C++ example. So here we have the base class of window and the two implementations, so the dark window here and the bright window here, with just one constructor just to say what kind of window it is. And the same for button. Here you have the base class and the two implementations, dark button and the bright button, just over here. Regarding to the factory, we have the abstract widget factory here with the two methods we are interested in, the create window and create button, which returns a window and button base class. Just after, we have the two implementations, so the dark widget factory and the bright widget factory, and they are in charge to create the concrete window. So here the dark window and the concrete button, the dark button. From an application point of view, we have a create desktop method which takes a parameter and of course an abstract widget factory, and it will use this factory to create a window and a button, and we'll see what happens with that. So in the main we have the application, and we are instantiated a dark widget factory, for example, and we are asking the application to create a desktop with it. So let's have a look. I'm running the application, and as you see, we are creating a dark window and a dark button, but from an application point of view, it doesn't care about the look and feel. And I would like to show you something. I take the advantage to have only one file. I will take the implementation of the concrete classes. So I mean, for the window, I just take this code, I put it just after the application. I do the same with the button, two implementations, again after the application, and the same for the factory. just after, just here. And as you see, the application, the implementation of the application is before all implementation of concrete classes. That means it doesn't care about them, sorry. And if I started to compile again, as you see, it's still working and we still have a dark window and a dark button built. And now I would like to show you how easy it is to switch from one look and feel to another. So we just have to create another concrete factory, the bright one. Just relaunching the application. And now you see we are building a bright window and a bright button. So I hope this video helps you out, and if you do like what you just saw, please like and share this video. Thanks for watching.